Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Jacqi Vene about the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix. She, of course, played Joan in Fear Street Part 2, 1978. Jacqi, welcome to Popternative. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much, Peter. I'm glad to be here.
I'm excited to chat with you. I did have one question I was, pun intended, dying to ask you about the movie. Shagadelic, was that in the script?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Has anyone asked you that yet?
No one's asked me that.
I'm just curious. Maybe, I don't know. I was just like, maybe there's an opportunity. Maybe that was just kind of thrown in there at the end, but that was in the script. Because that's a legendary line in the whole series, in my opinion.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I know, I totally agree. It's a great word. And I actually had a friend of a friend text me after the movie came out and was like, did she actually get to say shagadelic when the only person who has is Austin Powers? And I was like, is that true? But then I looked it up and it's not true, but we can pretend it's true.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, the movies dropped week by week. You're in the second one, 1978. I mean, it's just been kind of nonstop. How's it kind of been for you? And has it kind of hit you that the reception has been what it's been so far?
It's been crazy. A lot of us have got, like, everyone has gotten so much love, and I've definitely gotten a lot of followers, and it's been crazy. I've been feeling like so blessed and so excited, but also equally like I'm starting to see, now that I'm getting more, I'm starting to see like rare pictures of me come up, I'm like, how do people
The
know
fan
this?
edits and the edits, aren't they quick?
They're quick. Like, I remember the edits came out the morning of the movie, and I was like, I posted them right away because I didn't know that. I thought that it was just going to be a rare thing that I got an edit made of me. I didn't know that there was going to be, 50 a day or something. So I posted it. I was like, look at how cool this is.
It's so crazy. You see it with like Fear Street, and you see it with, shows like Outer Banks, especially on Netflix. I mean, how quick it is. Like, I remember even like last year interviewing cast members of Outer Banks. It was like the Tuesday and it came out that Friday, and it was all like insanely big, and it wasn't even like a week. And it was the same thing with Fear Street. It's just like, it blows my mind how quick it hits.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's just kind of, it feels, surreal and odd because a lot of it is through social media. So it's not like I have, not like I see all these 20,000 followers outside my door. It's that it's just a number. So it makes it very surreal and kind of question, like, I'm like, are all these the same account just created like 50,000 times or something? Like, I don't believe that this is all these different people.
It's crazy. And also to add to that quickly about the fan reception, I mean, the global reception has been insane. Like, the fact that these fans and followers are from all over the globe is also unbelievable.
It's so crazy and weird to think about, like people from Turkey, people from Germany, people from Brazil, and it's Portugal. I'm just like, I can't, and people like, sorry, I don't speak English very well, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
I know, it is amazing, and it's not, I don't think it's gonna calm down anytime soon. It seems like it's just this like consistent Fear Street love, like all the time.
And I think it has to do with the cast of not just how talented they all are, but everyone's really nice. And I think that everyone's really open to receiving the love. And I think that's really important in nowadays when you have social media and you can see who someone is. Everyone's really receptive and has a great sense of humor. And I think it's really expanding the fan base more and more.
Absolutely. I do have specific, 1978 questions and Joan questions. We're going to get to them. But before that, to kind of start this off, what was the familiarity and interest of like the horror thriller genre before you kind of signed on to this? Like, did you have an interest? Did you ever think about you were going to work in a horror movie? Like, what was that like before you signed on to Fear Street? That interests me for sure.
Horror specifically?
Yeah, like did you know? Were you a fan of the genre? Did you have a chance to work in the genre before? Like, what was the interest, or like, did you go in? Like, I'm basically trying to ask if you went in blindsided, basically, because it's a huge fan base, the horror fan base.
Yes, it is. That's an interesting question. I think that um I definitely went in blindly. I think
Yeah.
usually you go in blindly to anything, even if you know what it is
Hmm.
in the industry of movies, just because they're just so wildly different and
Hmm.
like each one is very unique, each project. But that being said, I wasn't it wasn't like I was searching to do horror, and I had some experience in it,
Yep.
but no, I had no idea what I was getting myself into at all whatsoever. I was just eager to be a part of something, if that makes
But I
sense.
think it's like the fact that, I grew up reading the R.L. Stein books, so I kind of saw the announcement that they were going to do this, and I was like, wow. And then the fact that it was on Netflix in the summer, and like the three movies back to back, I think was like a refreshing, unique, exciting concept and project for a lot of horror movie fans, where they had three
Yeah,
movies to look forward to week after
totally.
week.
It's something you can be a part of.
Absolutely. But what I really like about 1978 is it just had such a fun summer feel. Like, it is probably one of the best like go-to movies for the summer, where that has that kind of summer camp slasher feel, pays homage to all those movies. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I talked to McCabe and Sam, who worked on the film with you, and they said it felt like you were at camp making the movie. Is that
Hey,
safe to say that's what it was like?
totally did. And it definitely had to do with how many extras there were that were children.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times you're on set and there's a lot of extras, but they're not children because you have to have the parents sign off. And there's a lot of issues with having children on set that just makes it harder.
Yeah.
But they definitely, you had to have them. And that's what made it so cool for me, was all of the children.
Yeah.
Because kids kind of carry this excitement and this free spirit energy. And that's what made it feel like it was camp.
It's interesting. Perfect segue to what I was going to bring up. It's interesting because I was going to bring this up in the interview anyway, but it's a perfect segment, right? So, I wanted to start a little bit of a trend, a hashtag, and it's called hashtag Justice for Jeremy, because because that still, I talked to McCabe about it on the live. That still hits me so hard. The kid with the glasses, Jeremy.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. The worst death, not the worst, but like the
And
one
then they're
where
throwing eggs at him, and he's like rubbing a glass. I mean, come on, if that doesn't hit you and make you feel like, yeah,
that was the one. That was the one where I was like, no, they're not gonna kill him. No, they're not.
yes,
And then I was like, oh my God, are they gonna? Oh my God, they killed him! Like, that is so
yes,
heartless.
Jeremy, the little camper who has that relationship with Tommy, like Mr. Slater, and then yeah. It's just, yeah, justice for Jeremy. Sam Brooks said that, but it's just like, it's fun. Like, the movie's it's fun. It's a
It's so
fun
fun.
time. I don't know what else to say.
It is. No, it really is. Like, each of them carry this vibe about them that very
Yeah.
much has to do with the era. Like, the 90s is very punk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 70s is very
Shagadelic.
shagadelic. It so is. And then the 1600s one is just, creepy and dark and more cryptic.
Yeah, absolutely. The soundtrack too.
Oh, the soundtrack to the 70s blew my mind. Like, when they played Carry On Your Wayward Son, I was like,
That's the best.
I'm going to lose my shit right now that I'm in a movie with this
They have
soundtrack.
like the Neil Diamond song too that was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, it's just so good.
It was so good. It was so good.
And your character Joan is just a lot of fun. I feel like that was a fun character to play. I feel like that was just like there's a complexity of that character that we see, because the whole kind of divide of the two camps, like the shady sides, and she has interests with the other campers, and she's a complex character if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what makes her complex what shows her complexity is how she takes a liking to Kurt. Because
Yes.
it's just so like, huh?
Yeah.
But that just kind of expressed to me, that's what
Mhm.
gave my direct doorway into her complexity, is because she has this bigger eye of seeing people for who they are.
Yes.
That makes sense. I
And
don't.
no, a lot of people that have watched this interview have seen the movies, and I've seen them many times. But just in case for everyone watching, spoiler alerts, guys, because we're gonna get into this right now. Your death, okay? We kind of feel like, I mean, like we see it coming a little bit. Like I saw it coming. You know what I mean? It's a little build
Yeah,
up, right?
the girl that has sex in the horror movie is gonna die.
No, but then you
Like,
walk outside, you're like outside the cabin, you're looking around, and it's like, all right, like it's just a matter of like when it's gonna happen.
yeah, yeah.
I just want to know that experience, that scene with McCabe and everything. Is there anything you could tell me about that? About the makeup, about like the blood? Like, is there anything you could tell me about that whole sequence?
I mean, that whole day I was pretty much naked because that was what it was, that scene. So I was nervous and I knew it was going to be a big day. And so I was basically just wearing that shirt that was like a button up with my underwear. And that's all I was wearing is for the death scene. And McCabe comes in, they're doing the acts, we're setting it all up, we have the stunt guys there telling me where to stand, and I think I had accidentally like moved on accident, and McCabe came down and like whacked the shit out of my arm or something because I was in the wrong spot, and he felt so bad, and he was like, hey, are you okay? And we're all trying to get the shot before time's up, and I was like, you okay, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because he's supposed to hit like you. He's
He's
supposed to hit you in like the head area, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but like, they had this one shot from to the side of us, and he hits like diagonally because believe it or not, we don't actually whack the shit
And
out
then
of each
Joan is just like Tommy, like just like that whole sequence. I did McCabe. It's fun. It like I interviewed McCabe and like just like he's a great actor. Obviously, because he is like the nicest, coolest guy. And he just kind of turns on the switch and like there's blood everywhere, and it's just the transformation is insane.
He's got these eyes that are ice, because they're this light blue, kind of like yours.
Yep.
I can really tell over the thing, but just these ice blue eyes that are piercing, and you can. Just with a certain scowl, you can really make it cold, and he does a great job.
It's pretty interesting too because you talked about like how the cast was like amazing for all three movies, and it was a combination of like there were some people that we've seen in other projects that were on this, like Sadie, of course, with Stranger Things, and then we, Kiana and Olivia Welsh had projects that we saw, like Panic on Amazon with Olivia, and Kiana had Trinkets and everything. But then there was like yourself and like McCabe and Ryan, people that we haven't seen before, and Julia Raywald. That's cool to see too. So it's like a kind of combination of like people that were already like established and like that brought their fan bases with them, and then a bunch of newcomers that are just killing it right now.
Right. It was a really cool opportunity to be a part of because did you guys interview Jeremy?
Jeremy Ford?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
So I actually had been working on a play with him in Los Angeles did he tell you this?
No, he did not. Maybe, possibly.
You just said yes, like you had heard it, and I was like, oh, did he tell you this? But we were working on it, and then he actually got cast for Fear Street, and we were all like, and he told us what it was, and I think we had heard whispers about it, like through LA or something, and we were like, holy shit. Like, goddamn, like, bye, Jeremy. He couldn't do the play anymore. And he left. And then 6 months later, I got cast for it, which was weird.
I think he said something about that because Jeremy Ford, I did that interview with him like 2 or 3 weeks before the first one came out.
Oh.
So it was like, I got screeners to see it, but like I did that one a while ago. So but he said something about that. He was working on a play for sure. Yeah, no, it's and that's kind of a cool full circle moment a little bit that you also got casted.
Cool. It was really cool and weird in that I was like, this is a full circle weird moment, and you never really know what's coming, you
I'm
know? 'Cause
curious, yeah, but I'm curious about the mindset. Like after you wrap 1978, because I was told, you know, it was an abandoned camp, and a lot of you were at a hotel and in a small
Mhm.
town. There wasn't a lot to do, but you went to there was like that's what I was told. But what was your kind of mindset when you rapped compared to now? Like, obviously, now you see, you know, how amazing this has become. So you're probably in the mindset of like, yeah, I want to go work on things like this again. Absolutely. But what was it like right after you rapped before all the insanity? Like, what was your mindset? Were you like exhausted? Like, what was that like for you?
I shot super quick and I got
Okay.
cast really quick. When I found out I got cast, I got flown out. There were no callbacks, nothing. I auditioned to it actually like 3 or 4 months prior, didn't hear
Mm-hmm.
anything. Then I heard that they wanted me. I took like 24 hours to decide. I was like, hell yes. And I flew out the next day. So I had no callback, nothing. It was very unique. And then I was only out for probably a week
Oh,
shooting,
wow.
less than that, maybe even.
Okay.
And so it happened really fast. Everything happened really fast. So I was just trying to soak it in as much as I could, but it was a whirlwind of just like,
Was
what
it?
is going
Were you even able to process it? Because I hear like I have a lot of friends that work on shows as well, and they say like they go in and work, and it's like a blink, like it's a blur. Like you're in, you're on set, you're doing your lines. It's like you don't even
it's
have time to
blur.
think about anything.
I didn't have the time to think. I had no rehearsal time. I know Lee was so busy, and I think 1978 was the last movie that they shot.
Yes, that's what I heard too. Yep.
And I was one of the last days on set. And
Wow.
so they were just trying to get their shit
Oh my
together. They're
God.
like, guys, we gotta go. So I didn't have any time to rehearse. Lee was so busy doing so many things because she's a mastermind that, you know, she just trusted me and was like, go, do your thing. And I had like 2, 3 takes of anything. And I don't even remember how I had done it in the audition. So I was just like, I'm reading this character. I'm just doing this, what I want to do.
Oh,
And I just did.
absolutely. No, that's awesome. And yeah, Joan is great, and
It's so cute.
unfortunately a victim of McCabe of Tommy Slater, but like I mean, oh, so you knew, so you obviously, so okay, so here's another question for a wrap up too, getting back to that, because you know, the acts and everything, and like the whole leading up, and you're looking around, and you say Tommy, and he kills you. What was like? Was what was supposed to happen in the script? I'm asking
Yeah.
about the script because I'm just wondering if there was any
Yeah.
like changes.
Everything was scripted.
Okay.
I don't think there was anything that I added just because of we didn't have that much time to play around
Gotcha.
because you know, if you played around, they're moving so fast. It's like you don't know if it's going to work. If you're on a set that's moving fast and has a deadline, it's risky to play around.
Yeah, for sure. It's just the shagadelic I had to ask because it just like
Yeah, yeah,
it catches
no,
you
for
off
sure.
guard. You're like, what?
Yeah, I think that's why Joan has blown up as much as she has because she does not have that much screen time, but the fact that she's so different from
Mhm.
everybody else in the script just makes her stand out and seem like she's a bigger role than she is. Leading up to this whole thing, Peter, I wasn't going to go to the premiere. I wasn't telling people. I wasn't anything. I didn't think I was in it that long. I didn't shoot for very many days. Like I think I had 2 shooting days.
Wow.
I I was like,
And about
I'm not
like 50,000 Instagram followers later, here we are.
I was like, sorry, that was my computer. I was
No
like,
worries.
I'm not even in it. I think I'm naked in it. I'm really nervous. Like I didn't tell my dad. I still he hasn't seen it because obviously it's kind of weird. But I really wasn't telling people. And then I just had this instinct. I'm going to go to the premiere. It'll probably be fun. And Michael picked me up and we had a blast. And we're like, let's just go. And then it turned out to be this thing. And I was in it way more than I thought. And sorry, I was
Yeah,
in
no
it way
worries.
more than I thought.
Yeah.
And it was mind blowing.
Well, I'm really happy for you. It's awesome.
Thank you.
And thank you
I,
so much for coming on the show. This was awesome.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Is it done? That was so quick.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes people say like podcast and it's like an hour. No, it's always shorter. I don't know. That's just how it is. It goes by very quick because I think we're having a very good conversation.
It does go by really quick.
So all the movies are out now, including 1978, which they can catch Joan in on Netflix, streaming worldwide right now. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's at Jacqui with 3 J's, and I spell my name Jacqui, so it's Jacqui, I guess.
Yep.
And that's kind of the only thing I'm active on right now. A lot of people are trying to get me to do the TikTok, which I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to lose my life to another social media right now, but we'll see.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Jacqi Vene, who plays Joan in Fear Street Part 2, 1978 on Netflix, and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.